Hi there, my name is Marcin, and today we are going to talk about predicting future of the crypto market, which can be quite useful when we will be trying to bet on which coins have potential or which coins could increase in the value or which coins could decrease in the value. Also, it's important for me to mention that this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only, although I highly doubt that you will find any entertainment with me. So this is not financial advice. And if you want to invest in something, just do your own research, talk to financial advisors, because I'm not the one. So as I said, this is just me talking and trying to learn about the market and compare to the past what was happening and possibly to see what we could see in crypto this year. A person that is obsessed in crypto. I like to analyze things. I like to see different options. So this is all I'm trying to do in this video. I'm also not trying to hype up anything. As I said, I'm not trying to deliver entertainment. So just let's talk. So I mentioned to you predicting the future, and although it's impossible to predict the future, we can learn from the past. So what happened in the past in the crypto, especially in the last bull market in 2017, and we could try to relate to the current bull market, see if it's maybe similar, and if it's similar, try to learn what we could do to actually profit from this. So as we know, in 2017, the first bull market started, then market cap increases, the Bitcoin dominance varies, and these two things are really crucial to understand what are we going to talk about today. So at this moment, we have market cap of 2 trillion. What it means, as I'm looking on the CoinGecko right now, it means that all of the currencies that are listed on CoinGecko are valued at 2 trillion. At the same time, Bitcoin dominance is at 1.1 trillion, which means it's around 55% of the dominance in the market. So it's more than half. But let's see what is happening here. So I opened this chart in the coin market cap, and we have the historical chart starting from 2013 till the current day, and this top line is Bitcoin dominance. So how big of the market share had the Bitcoin? Here is the previous bull market, and we could say now is the current bull market. So it's not the value, but it's Bitcoin dominance. And here I have this peak right now. So in the recent, let's see again, in the recent months or even years, this is the highest peak. And as we remember, end of 2020, Bitcoin was rising a lot. And this peak shows us that in January, exactly 4th of January 2021, we had Bitcoin close to 70% of the dominance. Now, let's see if we could compare this to the previous bull market back in 2017. So back in 2017, this is the highest point of Bitcoin bull market, the Bitcoin dominance at over 87%. I wouldn't compare exactly the Bitcoin dominance. Of course, it was bigger Bitcoin dominance because then we also had less of the altcoins. So as we have more altcoins, as the cryptocurrency become more mainstream, we could see the Bitcoin dominance actually lowering. But this is the peak. And the date is quite matching, so the peak is 2nd January, which is quite surprising. I wouldn't expect it would be matching that closely, but it's not the point that I'm trying to say it's exactly the same, but it could be fairly similar. And what was happening few months in, we have Bitcoin dominance staying very similar despite it often rising the value, but it's because the altcoins are also growing. And then after, here is the rise of the Bitcoin. So end of 2016, the Bitcoin dominance is rising. Then beginning of 2017, after the Bitcoin hit $1,000, suddenly it stays at around similar point. And then since the March, it's declining. So we have end of February, and March to, let's see where, till June 20. So March, April, May, June, for over 3 months, 3.5 months, Bitcoin dominance was declining over here. And what it means that in this time, not exactly that the Bitcoin price was dropping, but the Bitcoin price was quite flat, and the altcoins such as Ethereum, which we can see picked here in the dominance of 30%, Ethereum and other altcoins as XRP back then, the value was rising. After this few months, we see again Bitcoin bouncing up and going up to over 60% till December. So since June till December, we have 6 months of Bitcoin rising. Possibly the altcoins stay the same or dropping while Bitcoin value is going up. And then again, sudden drop. And then we had market crash in January 2018. So now let's move to today's market. You have Bitcoin going up till the early January. And since then, we can see despite price being very similar or even rising in few moments, we have Bitcoin dominance declining. While at the same time, what's starting to happen, and we can see the same here is stable, here Bitcoin slowly declining. So you could see we are probably somewhere at this first leg over here. We have the steep decline in the recent days from 60% to below 55% actually on CoinGecko, and just within few weeks, which is a lot. And at the same time, we have this very fine line over here, which is other coins. So we can see other altcoins from 9% to 15 or even like 18% increase in the value. So what it would mean, it means the Bitcoin first leg of the cycle in Bitcoin price from 20,000 to 60,000 is behind us. Now the Bitcoin is building resistance while the altcoins are going up. And some of the altcoins already peaked and are correcting. Some of them are at the peak right now, and some of them soon might go up. It's very important for me to say right now that you're actually not going to see all the altcoins going at the same time. And we can learn this from the history. So March, June, it's 3 months. So the first altcoin season is 3 months. And now I want to show you the real example of it. So I'm going, for example, to Ethereum. Let's open a historical chart on CoinGecko. And the first rise in the Ethereum price over here, it's starting in March, and the Ethereum peaked in June. So it's quite late. Some of the coins we were seeing peaking a little bit earlier. So remember this, Ethereum first leg peak in June 2017. Could it mean that Ethereum is before peak of the first altcoin season? Maybe, but maybe not. We don't really know this. But when I go to Zia Coin, for example, okay, also June, similar as Ethereum, look nearly the same. Let's go to XRP now, pretty hated this year. And we can see when it comes to XRP, it peaked in May. So you can see that different coins peak in different times. So this is the stretch of few months starting in March till June. And what I do believe, we might be in quite similar time this year. So I feel the altcoins season started around February, and it could last 3, 4, maybe 5 months. And also what is important, it's not happening all at the same time. We have seen massive gains recently. So I opened some of the tokens. I'm not invested in them, so I'm just opening you the random tokens. So for example, Polygon. When I open Max chart, we can see huge raise here starting in January. So after Bitcoin dominance peaked, and it peaked here in March. Since then, it's declining. For last month, we have correction. Other token that will be similar example is this Luxo. Look at this. It peaked here, similar time in March, since then declining. But it will not be the case with all of them, because when I look at Zia coin, for example, it's not declining. It's maybe at the peak now, or maybe it's rising more. When I look at the other one, Graph in this case, look, it peaked in February, so even earlier, and for last 2 months, it's staying stable and slowly declining. So we have in correction. Helium, similar at Zia coin, it's keep rising. And then we also have projects that probably are just at the beginning of the altcoin season. So for example, looking at Origin, when I will open last 90 or 180 days, you can see it was flat. It was flat even in February. We had some peaks, but these peaks, for example, over here, it was because they had announcement of listing on Binance. So this news always affect the coin. And then over here, end of March, we had influencer, you probably know who, talking about this on YouTube, Rise, and here we have some organic price. So a lot of news coming to the Origin, and I believe Origin is at the beginning of this altcoin season for this, and probably similar could be Kava. When we look at the chart, it didn't have this massive spike, but it's slowly rising, and here I believe something is happening. So the point is, the altcoin season might last few months, and I wouldn't advise on buying. I wouldn't advise on buying anything, but maybe if you buy something at the peak right now, you should be careful with this, because you might enter a few months correction. So what I see happening here, I see Bitcoin declining for the next few months, maybe building resistance around 60,000, and then when I would see the bounce of the Bitcoin. Do I think the Bitcoin is going to drop to less than 40% as it did in June 2017? Well, the difference is the Bitcoin is really massive now, so I will start to be very cautious. Even if Bitcoin hit 45%, and maybe then I would move my money to Bitcoin from the altcoins. But we need to pay attention that Bitcoin was much smaller in the previous cycle, so in this cycle it's much bigger, so it's also more difficult for altcoins to bring the dominance of Bitcoin down, but also some altcoins becoming very big, so it works. I'm actually speaking weirdly probably. I see Ethereum going probably high, and maybe Ethereum could go even close to Bitcoin, and it happened actually before. So it goes pair in pair. The Bitcoin dominance declining, the Ethereum, which is the major altcoin price, increasing. So here we entered, we probably have 2 months more of altcoin season. Some altcoins will be correcting in this time. So even it's altcoin season, some of them already peaked in February, in March. Bitcoin probably will stay the same. Some altcoins gonna go up now in April, in May, some probably in June. Although we might be earlier in the market. Could the market crash tomorrow? Probably it could. But I don't believe if we have a similar cycle. I would recommend to familiarize yourself with the history. And I actually prepared something over here to give you maybe better understanding. So we have Bitcoin, which is our dominant player, and we will try to understand how the market behave. So how the Bitcoin behave? We do have flat line. I'm not the best at drawing, so forgive me that. Maybe I'm going to take some better brush. Okay, we have Bitcoin. Bitcoin is flat, and then coming the Bitcoin cycle, Bitcoin is rising very fast, and then Bitcoin has correction or maybe stay flat. So it often could be maybe rise, small correction, something like this. Then we could have the alt that stay flat, Bitcoin rising, so the alt was staying flat, but then it's rising more dynamically often than Bitcoin, and then we have correction. The alt too, maybe it's staying even longer, go exponentially here, correction, and alt 3, maybe even later, and correction. So then what I would expect to happen once we have the altcoins peaking. Let's see Bitcoin rising again, the same way it happened in the previous bull market. Then the altcoin correcting and doing the same here. The third one here, the second one, of course, and the last one here. And what we could also, how the crash looked, let's say Bitcoin go here, and Bitcoin crashing, and also we have the crashes later on. I think I get a little too far, so Bitcoin could correcting, but maybe less, so it's not that severe. And this would be the end, and of course the crash of the crypto market. So I hope this video was a little bit informative. I actually think it was a little bit boring, but some people who try to read the market, and I believe maybe there's 2 people who find the value. If you found the value in this video, let me know. I will be very happy to serve for these 2 people. But remember, learn from the past, analyze how the coins behave. As you can see, we have the first leg as in the example of XRP, and then XRP between May till December, no move, 6 months actually declining, correcting. So we could see now between April, May, soon correction in the altcoins, and they possibly would not move till December, and everyone will forget about them. But I'm not going to forget. I'm going to stick to this, and probably I'm going to wait unless I will see something bothering, then I will be leaving. And then the last leg is very aggressive, and it's difficult to leave. So once it starts rising, when you want to leave, it's just when it's rising here. You don't want to leave here at the top. I mean, you want. It's so difficult. Usually when you wait to the top, you will be late and you end up somewhere here. So start leaving, maybe even here, and when it's rising, you keep leaving, keep leaving. So that's the exit strategy that everyone should have. So past will tell you the future. Thank you, and see you next time when I be rambling about crypto. Bye-bye.